Hi there, welcome to today's video. If you're new here, my name's Marie, and if you're an oldie but goldie, then hello, welcome back, good morning. Every Sunday I do a collaboration with two other British ladies, Tina and Maria. Tina from Tina's Talk Time and Maria from Maria Crocker. And both ladies live in England and I live in the USA. So there's the Atlantic in between us. So we decided to call ourselves the Transatlantic Housewives of YouTube. And we've been doing this collaboration now for the last 2 years. And today we are doing a question and answer video. Now we like to keep our videos short, 15 minutes, so you can watch all three early in the morning before you start your day. And we obviously know that you have many more YouTubers that you love to watch, so we don't want to take up all your time. So having said that, I have my questions in hand, so let's jump into the first question. Would you ever come back to England to live? That's an easy one. Yes, I've got some construction in the background. I don't know if you can hear them banging. I hope the mic isn't picking that up. But yes, I would move back to England. If my husband came home after work today and said, you know what, should we move back to England? I'd hop up, I'd run into the garage, I'd grab my suitcases and I would start packing. But I have to be honest, I would have to look and do some research on taxes, because I'm not sure how that all works as far as bringing money into the country and how much you get taxed, because obviously we would have to sell our house and transfer money to buy another house, and of course my husband gets paid in dollars, so the exchange rate, if it could all work out, I would move back to England. That was a long answer, sorry about that. The next question is, what do you miss most about England? And that would be the countryside. So it's actually our land, our greenery, our trees, our countryside, rivers, lakes, streams, our walks, our homes. It's just our country as a whole I love. And one of the things that I like to watch other YouTubers do is take off from Heathrow or Gatwick Airport, and they look out the window and I just look down, and I really miss that, even the scent in England, the beautiful greenery, the flowers, everything. And the fact that you can travel easy from England, you can go to Europe so inexpensively. You know, you can be in a village, a town, a city, the beach, the woods, all within like a couple of hours drive. Our public transport is so good in England. You can catch a train almost anywhere. Buses, I mean, if you live in Las Vegas, we have to walk almost 2 miles to the nearest bus stop. And in 100-degree weather, that's not fun. So that's what I miss most about England. I changed locations. I think what I'm going to do is just answer the questions as my day progresses. So I might be in several different locations. The noise of the construction just was a bit much. So, and it's difficult to try and find quiet places in Vegas, to be honest. I just went to a different park and I was going to sit outside in the park and the traffic just zooming by. Anywho, the next question is, was your husband born in the... No. Did your husband grow up in the US? Yes, he did. So he's from Detroit, which is in Michigan. And I think he was there until he was 16. And then he moved down to be with his aunt and grandparents, I think, or just aunt, can't remember, in Kentucky. Then I think he went back to Detroit. And then I think in his early 20s, he went to England. Then he went back to America, and then when he came back to England 9 months later, I met him, and that was what year was that? 89. Honestly, I met him in May of 89. So yeah, my husband did grow up in the USA. I'm now at the thrift store. So the next question is, if you could ask 4 people, past or present, to dinner, who would you invite? And I've thought long and hard about this, and I think I've come up with 4 fantastic guests. So first one being Frank Abagnale, and I think I've pronounced his name right, and he is the gentleman that was a con artist, and Leonardo DiCaprio played him in a movie called Catch Me If You Can. And this guy, he posed as a pilot, he posed as a doctor, I think he posed as an FBI investigator. This guy was a real like rogue, and he went to prison, but he ended up working for the CIA. I think his stories would be absolutely so entertaining. So anyway, that would be my first guess, Frank Abagnale. I think that's how you say it. So then we want a female. My next would be Dawn French. So who doesn't love Dawn French? I think she would be a complete hoot to have at dinner. Yeah, we all grew up with Dawn French. If you don't know who Dawn French is, if you're American and going, well, who the hell's Dawn French? Google her. She was in a series called Vicar of Dibley. Lots, I mean, just so many things. Stand-up comedy. Yeah, so Dawn French for sure. Then let's go for another gentleman, and it would have to be David Attenborough, Sir David Attenborough. I think his stories would be amazing. I mean, I watched his documentaries. We all grew up with his wildlife programs, and the latest documentary where he said, you know, if we don't get our act together, Earth is going to end up looking like this in 50 years time. I just think he would be amazing to sit down and chat with. So that would be my third guest. And then my fourth, another female and another comedian who I just think is a scream, and that is Jo Brand. She's a stand-up comedian. She's been in some programs, but I can't remember any of the names of them. But she used to be a psychiatric nurse, and I just think, I mean, her stories, I'm sure, would be amazing too. So the four of us together, or five of us together, well, I wouldn't say anything, I'd just sit there and listen. But I wouldn't have a clue what to serve them, to be quite honest. Yeah, so that would be my dinner guests. And I'm going to throw that question back to you guys now. Who would you have as your four? It's actually a harder question than you think. It really makes you think who would work well with who. So yeah, who would be your four? Ready for the next question? I'm now outside a coffee shop. Let's see, what question shall we ask? Where would you like to see yourself in 10 to 15 years? I would like to be living somewhere other than Las Vegas. I would love to be closer to a beach, within an hour and a half maybe. That would be my dream. 10 to 15 years, so I would be 65, 70. Yeah, still on YouTube. Let's see about that. And gosh, I would have lost some weight. I'll be working out, living a much slower life, and being outside more, definitely outside. And I would love to be in a house that I have a garden that I can just plant plants and not have to have a drip system. I can just dig a hole, plant a plant, and just water it with a watering can. That would be perfect for me. Okay, next question, and it is, if you could go back to being 40, what would you do differently? And when I was 40, I was living in a different house. My husband and I just lived like 5 minutes away from the house that we're in now, but it was it's a much bigger house, and we decided that we wanted to downsize. However, I think the house that we've bought and that we're in now is just a little bit too small, and I think I would have slowed down and taken my time to really look and choose the house that we should have bought. There's nothing wrong with the house that I have. I'm perfectly happy with it, but it is 1 bedroom too small and 1 car size in the garage too small. So if I could rewind back to being 40, I would slow down and choose a different house to be in. Thought as I'm sitting here waiting on my food, I'd answer another question. I've moved to the shade now because it's just too hot. Right, the question is, how old was you when you got your first tattoo? And I was 40. I was at hair school, and there was about 12 of us that decided that we all wanted tattoos, and some of the girls wanted piercings, and one of the girls had a regular tattoo artist that she went to for years, and we all liked her tattoos. So we said, okay, we'll go with your guy. And he lived in Pahrump, which is about an hour away from Las Vegas. It's on the other side of the mountains. So we all did a day trip out to her tattoo guy, and yeah, that was my first tattoo. And it's, oh, actually I can't show you, it's the one that's on my back, and it was in memory for my mum. So it incorporates a yellow rose because that was her favorite color, and the rose was her favorite flower. So, and that's actually my biggest tattoo as well. So age 40, my first tattoo. So if you're thinking of getting a tattoo, in fact, one of my friends waited until she was in her 70s to get her first tattoo. So just do it. If it's something you want to do, just do it, and don't care about what anyone else thinks. Okay, I'm back home now. The next question is, what is your favorite thing about living in Las Vegas? And I've had to really think about this one. I've thought about it all afternoon. And I think if I can only pick one, I would say my favorite thing about Las Vegas is that you can do a staycation or a stay afternoon or stay morning, stay brunch anytime you want. So if it's my day off and I just want to feel like I'm on vacation, I'm somewhere else, I can go to a really nice outdoor restaurant, or I can go down to the Strip, go to the Bellagio, I can go to the Venetian, the Paris, and really feel like I'm on vacation because I'm with all the tourists. So it really does feel like I've got away, I'm away from work, I'm away from house, but I don't have that expense of packing up, taking vacation time, getting on a plane, all that traveling. I can just be somewhere else for a few hours. So I would have to say that's probably my favorite thing about living in Las Vegas. What is my most attainable dream? I think, I'm happy as I am right now. I love my house, I love my garden. However, if I could have the world and anything I ever wanted, but it has to be attainable within my life, it would be to have a single story house with a garden that I can just go out and plot plants into the ground versus having to get a pickaxe and dig a hole or have to lay a drip line in order for my plants to get water. And I would love to have a house with a view. If I could sit out on my back garden on either whether it was a patio or a decking, if I had a view, that would be lovely. Or if I lived by a beach, that would be, again, I think I mentioned that earlier on, that would be, it is attainable. Anyone can go move closer to a beach. It's whether my husband wants to or not. So I think that would be an attainable goal that we could work towards. And who knows, my husband's retiring at the end of this year, so keep your fingers crossed for me, maybe it'll happen. And lastly, how long have you been doing the Sunday Sunshine Show, and what prompted you to start it? Well, it started with Tina finding my channel and doing a mention out, and then I contacted her to say, wow, thank you, because I got suddenly a lot of subscribers in 1 week. And then Tina and I just got chatting, and then we decided to do, I think, a collaboration with Just Janie. I think that was the very first one. And I think that was a thrift challenge. It's in my playlist. And then we just got chatting and we said, let's form a group. We could do this once a week. And even though it actually does kind of hurt our channel to do this collaboration because we're picking topics that are outside of our normal realm, of our niche, and every time you do that you kind of take a hit. It's very weird how the algorithm works. It's just for our pure enjoyment. It used to be Tina, Maria and Karen, obviously, and Karen was with us for I think almost 2 years, and then Karen decided that she wanted to take a separate direction, which is fine, we're still friends, don't worry. But we decided to carry on because it's nice to have someone that you can talk to that does the same things. You know, we hit the same hiccups, we hit the same problems. If there's an editing hiccup, we can ask one another, hey, how do you do this real quick? And we really genuinely enjoy doing this collaboration. If I didn't enjoy doing it, believe me, I wouldn't be doing it. I think it's now over 2 years, because what month is it now? It's April. I think we've literally just crossed over doing this past 2 years now. And who knows how much longer we'll continue. I hope forever. So yeah, stay tuned, see how long it goes on for. So anyway, having said that, having mentioned Tina and Maria, please now pop over to their channels and look at their question and answer videos, and they have different questions to me. So stay tuned, pop on over to theirs, and I will see you at the beginning of this coming week with a thrift haul, and it's a good one. So thanks for watching, and I'll see you soon. Bye.